Hi guys, I'm back with another video. Now, I've tried to record this God knows how many times, so we're going to try and make it as short video as possible. If there's any area you want me to discuss about this this application, just let me know. And yeah, okay, before we go any further, if you've seen my previous unboxing video of the Wacom Cintiq that I bought, I've been practicing it with this now for about 3 months with this application, which is Paint Tool SAI, which we'll be talking about right now. So yeah, before you go ahead, you need to configure your Wacom pen to the actual laptop, or if you're connected to a PC or Mac, you need to obviously configure it, because if you haven't configured it, your pointer will not move smoothly with your pen wherever you move, because before when I bought it, the pointer was right way over here, and then you would be trying to move it to the end, but it's not configured then, see, so you have to do that first. There's a different application for each software that you have. I'm running I think Windows 10 software, so I would have to look for that on the Wacom site, and it should have it there all for you, so wherever device you're on, you should link it there. But anyway, Paint Tool SAI, I came across this. There is a way to download this for free. If anyone needs that, let me know. I'll try to make a video of that. But we're going to go into it. So this is how it comes out, the layout. Basically, you won't have the page here, but I've just got one already open just to show you guys. So if you want to make a new canvas, you obviously hit the new button. This should come up, and I've got it set basically on my Twitch emote size. So you don't have to do it this size, but it has to be square basically. So the canvas is 500 by 500 pixels and 300 resolution pixels per inch. You can change those around. There are preset sizes, A4, God knows what else sizes, but you can use them if you want. You can write a title of your thing, press OK, and it should come up like this. But I'm going to cancel that because I've already got a file open. I'm just going to show you certain things. Now, we're not going to go into depth because you can just hover your pen or mouse over the icons and it should give you a bit of a description of what it is. But if there is something you don't know, I don't know some buttons, so if anyone's watching this video, you can just quickly pop it underneath and let me know. If there's something you want me to go into depth, let me know. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. I'm just going to put that in there before we start. And subscribe, like, subscribe, follow all my other social media sites. They'll all be in the description box. But anyways, let's go here. We'll just quickly go over everything that's here. So this is a square already set up canvas. Now, here I'm just going to show you what this is. Basically, going to say this little pink dotted square, you can move the actual canvas around here from there. A zoom button, angle button, so you can move the canvas around, zoom in, zoom out. But if you're drawing and you want to quickly reset it, you just press the square button and it fixes everything back to the default, which is up here 100% zoom. So wherever canvas is, it will go back to 100%. So up here, exactly the same. We have the zoom button here. We have the angle button here. We can reset with the squares. Invert button. So basically, I'm going to put image up. Just a little rough sketch here now. So if I press the invert button, it just swaps the image around. This is one of the emotes I've already created on my Twitch. So if you want to look at that. But this was my first emote I ever made, so the sizing was a bit off. I probably would zoom in a lot more on the face and fill that square right up if you're going to be doing emote, just to let you know. But anyway, that's the invert button. That's good for if you need to quickly have a look if there's any mistakes in the image that you can notice only by flipping the screen. So that's one thing. Next, the stabilizer is basically the pen, how much stable you're going to get. Okay, now if I just get my pen tool right here, I use the crayon usually because that's, and the settings are here if you want to copy the settings that I've got for mine. And what brush size are we on right now? What's advanced settings? I don't know, check. I'm going to close this tool for a minute so you can see my advanced settings right here as well. So if anyone's want to know what settings I've got, you can use that. Now, I should have my pressure sensitivity on, which is down here, the tick, and density, size, and blend, and all that. We can close that now. Wheel back up. So the pen size that I've got so far is size 5. So what we're going to do, let's go back onto this rough one. I'm going to go into this layer for a moment. I'm just going to, I need a pen first. Give me a second, a colour. Alright, we need a black colour. Let's move that down. Come on. Right here. Now we should have that pen. Now I'm going to show you. I've already got my pressure sensitivity set. So when I press softly, this is the line I get. And when I press hard, that's how the line goes. Sometimes there is a problem with that though. When you start off the program, the pressure sensitivity doesn't work. It's a thick line. So what you do, for me personally, what I usually do is I get out of the application, the Paint Tool SAI, just cross out and then go back in. And sometimes it usually just fixes itself. If still it doesn't work, what I do is I log out of the program and restart the computer, and it should, when you come back on, work perfectly. But anyway, this is obviously how you can draw then basically the pressure sensitivity. So this is good if you want to get a thick line or not. Now when you're drawing, you will be using the razor button a lot. I just wanted to show that you don't have to use your actual keyboard on your laptop or computer, because most of the buttons you can actually find on the screen if you look for them. But the buttons I would use on the keyboard are the control button or the shift button, and then use it with my transform button, which will resize the image basically in a fixed way if you use the shift button. So I will leave some shortcut keys afterwards just to let you know if you're new to it. But yeah, we're going to just carry on with this. Now I'm going to talk. This color wheel is pretty much wherever you click opens up, so, and closes, and like so. So just play around. You can hover over this. So you can choose whatever color you like, swap the color over, have two colors on the go. Now this blank thing here that you can see, a transparent color, you can make any brush you're using into a razor, but what happens, it leaves like a blurry line at first when you're rubbing it. So you have to click that first, and it should make that into a razor for any pen. See, like so. You just rub that out. You can just undo that. But you can change the sizing of your brushes here, or your crayon size here. This button, okay, this is the color wheel. The other one we have is just basically a red RGB slider, so it's just a reds, greens. You can change any color around and get a certain different color that you can use that will give you a nice little like variant, I would say. The other one is a HSV, so that's your normal, like even if you don't have the color wheel open, you can have all your rainbow colors right there to pick, and then you can change from dark to light down here. The next one is this gray scale. Now, I didn't know what these 4 spaces were for. Now I've figured out, if you click on with a color now, okay, on there, you can actually put a color in and then make that swap to dark and light like so. Or if you just want to use the gray colors, you can swap it up and down. So if you're doing black and white drawings, that's good for just changing the grays quickly. And yeah, that's pretty ideal as well if you're into grayscale drawing. Let's just change that back. This one, all right, you can set your own colors here. So if you pick a color that you really like, all you do is use the front button, which is the right click, and press the set button, and that color should be placed in there. If you want to remove that color, all you do is press the same button at the front. Then it says remove at the bottom, but you don't use the front button. You have to use the back one here and click, and it should remove that square. So you can set your own colors. There's quite a lot of spaces to put your most favorite colors here laid out. You can remove them whenever you feel like. Here we have the scratch pad. So this is really good if you want to just have a little color swatch here for your anything that you're working on right now, and then you can just quickly click on it with the front click, and it has like you can change it around, have 2 colors on the go. And then what I usually do is swap the pens over. Oh, hang on a minute. I swap pens over, and then you can have like a shading effect. I'll just show you quickly. There, one, change it over, another one. Go to the water brush, which is down here. Settings. You can have a look at the settings as well if you really want to have the same way I'm going. But basically, the less pressure you use on the brush tool, the better blend you get. So the more pressure you put, you get a harsh line like so. So I would like to have a larger brush here. Let me just use that quickly. Let's see, there we go. We get a nice little blend going on like so. So that's good for the colouring stage, but we're not going to go into that so much right now. I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea of what I was talking about. Anywho, let's go back up. But I usually just use the crayon pen and the watercolor pen just to do the shading. Airbrush sometimes for the, if I'm doing the cheek area. Pen sometimes on a really fine line. So those are kind of good to use. Sometimes you just use the default settings and that will be okay. So you don't need to have most of them open. Here we're going to quickly go back again. Paint effects. I'm not really going to talk about the textures, but you can have a certain texture underneath, like a canvas, a paper, watercolor, right? And then you can change the scale of it, the sizing of the canvas lines, and the, what is this? And the texture strength, so how visible the texture is by moving the sliders across. The effect is fringe. Basically that just leaves like a little black border depending on how much you move that width across for the fringe, and you can leave the effect strength there if you want to, high or low. Normal to multiply and all this. Okay, so these are all like different effects you can do in new layers when you're putting onto a drawing. I'm not going to talk so much about that, but if anyone wants to know, I can go into that. I don't really use the binary coloring color, but I do tend to use the multiplier, which gives like a nice shadow on top of any color you're working. You mix it to light or dark. Screen's pretty light, I don't like that. Overlay is just, it's a bit of a light color you can get over so if you want to do a design over a top or something like that, that could work for that. Luminosity I usually use for the eyes, and shading, obviously it's just shading. Lumi shade is just basically a bit, those two combined together. This I don't really like binary, it just can be either too dark or light. In the center, the settings that you have usually of the color, like the percentage, that's where you get the color. So yeah, that's a bit pixelated. I'm not going to really go into that much right now. Now, pressure, opacity, preserve opacity, sorry, I won't say pressure, preserve opacity and clipping group are basically kind of the same thing. They, wherever line art you've drawn, if you have the clipping on top of that, now if I press that clipping button, right, you get that little inverted, like red or pinky kind of box by it. That means it's clipped underneath. So whatever image you have underneath, you won't go out that line. So that's what that is. Let's just unclip that for a moment. But yeah, those things I could probably talk about afterwards. I'm not really going to talk about that. Selection source is when I usually use that at the end when I've got all my line art in a folder, which is here. You can create a line art folder like so. And then it has all your drawings. So what I do usually is put my folder underneath and then slowly drag one down each. So they're all in the same order as they were placed on my screen. But you can close the folder, then you can click that eye to make the line work visible or remove it. So that's up to you. And then other is my base color, but if you put the line work on, it'll look a bit nice with that. Without, it doesn't really look that good. But those are all my colors. Basically, I've done all my blending and everything on that, so we're not going to go into that much right now. Here we have a new layer you can get. The pen, okay, the new line work layer, I'm not really sure how that works, because whenever I draw with that, wherever line I place basically kind of moves and it makes its own placement, which I don't like. So if anyone knows how to use that, please let me know in the comment section. That would really help. Down here you can just basically transfer down a layer or merge down a layer. So whatever layer you're on, which is purpley selected like this, that merges down to the next one. So just keep that an eye. You have to really remember which layer you're working on. That's what I found a bit difficult when I was practicing, well, digital art for the first time. So yeah, that you have to remember which layer you're working on, because some line work you might have on a different layer, and if you draw it on the wrong one, then you have to go back and change it. So just to let you know, remember which one you're on. So yeah, you can also completely erase a layer, but I don't really use that. If you want to get rid of something, all I do is usually drag to the bin the wherever layer is and then just open a fresh one. But you can use that if you want that option. Now this button, I don't know what it is. This new layer mask and apply layer mask and merge down the layer masks individually. I'm not sure what these are. If anyone does know in my who's watching this video right now, please do let me know, because I am confused about that. So I don't really use that. You don't really need it, I find, but it's up to you. If it would be good to know what it is for. Here, this is the selection pen. So basically, you click that, hit the transform. Basically, have like that toolbar comes up. So you can move the actual image around or whatnot. That's up to you. But I'm going to cancel that. Or you can freescale, scale down image, rotate. It's up to you what you want to do. Flip image over horizontally, rotate. So it's just a lot of things you can do. Here is the magic pen tool which colors it all in. So you can select that and then go to layer, and whatever color you have, you can fill it. And it should, if you deselect, which is up here, you've got to remember the deselect, because it won't let you move on to the next layer until you've deselected, and that color just fills it in. But if you had like an image line work already done, so we'll open the line work now, and we were meant to but anyway, you can fill certain areas up. The wand tool basically works with the selection and the deselection tool. So it basically, whatever size you choose, you can make that. You select areas. If there's something going out of the line, you can just take a bit of this and neaten up. This does take a bit of time, but obviously it works pretty good to color in certain areas of the drawing quickly. Lasso button is great to, if you want to resize a certain area, you can just swing that around. You have a bit of a loop there with the dotted lines, and then you can transform or reform. Hang on a minute. Reform this one, sorry. Reform or scale or something, everything. You stretch it like so if you want to, or cancel that, or you can transform, which moves everything around in that center. So that's good to play around with. I'm just going to give you a bit of a briefness of that. But obviously, if you use the wand tool, like now select that area, you can deselect or go back. If you press this one, which is invert button, it selects all the area outside. So if you want to fill that area in quickly and leave a certain area of the color left, you can do that as well. Okay, here are all the brush pens and whatever the default brushes that you have that you can play around with. Here, this is the moving tool, so you can move the whole canvas image around or whatnot. I'm going to just change that back to what it was normal. Another zoom button here. You can zoom in, just press screen, zoom in, zoom out. You can press that square to go back to default. And again, turn the canvas with this hand thing. You can move the whole canvas around. Oh, the ink dropper, which is great if you have a color now you want to select. Just click the front button and it should be selected there. And there we go, we do it again, and we got black and white, so you can swap around with colors like that. So that's very good. What else have we got? I'm just trying to quickly talk about it though, because, and the stabilizer is basically, I've got on 11, but it works fine for me, but it depends on how shaky your hands are. So some people like to use 6 or 4 maybe. Some like to go to S1 to 3 because the hands probably shake a lot more. But it depends. You have to play around with the tools and see how you find it and how you draw with it. Pen's pretty huge. Give me a second. But yeah, which one suits you better? We're on the wrong layer. Give me a sec. Alright, I'm going to go back to this. So yeah, whatever tool suits you, just use that. So I know this is pretty brief, but if there is a certain thing that you want me to talk about, we'll go into that. I just didn't want to make the video too long. I will leave some shortcut, obviously keys in the description box, or maybe down below in the comment section somewhere. I'll pin it, and those will be something that could help you as well if you're new to this Paint Tool SAI application. But I will probably be in the future making sped up videos of me probably sketching a drawing, and maybe colouring it. It might take a bit of time because my videos probably would be long, so I'd have to speed up pretty fast, which might be hard for you to follow. Or I might cut areas out because obviously video can be too long, and then loading it onto YouTube will take ridiculously long to do. So yeah, I might have to look into how I can actually live stream through I think it is OBS. We'll have to look into that, so that way it might be a bit better for you guys to actually ask me questions through Twitch. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I hope this video helped someone out, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. All right. And please hit that follow button. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, please leave it down and let me know if there's something that I'm saying wrong. Oh yeah, and I've got one more thing. At the top in the windows, you can actually move around your toolbar. So if you want it in the other area, it's up to you. You can move everything around. There's a way to do the transparent background for your emotes, which I will probably cover in another video when I'm doing my emotes and resizing. So yeah, keep tuned. I'll try to make videos as quickly as possible, but it just doesn't know, you don't know how it's going to work out, so I'll try my best. Thanks for watching.